The night was alive with rain and electricity when Ayan stood at platform 7, holding a bouquet of white lilies, her favorite. The last train of the night screamed in the distance, metal wheels carving sparks into the wet tracks. He checked his watch again, 11:58 p.m. She was supposed to be here by 11:30. Trains don't wait, he whispered to himself, but his heart did. Always had. Her name was Alina, the girl who once walked into his life like music, soft and unexpected. They had met in a library 4 years ago, both reaching for the same book, The Time Traveler's Wife. He remembered how she smiled, saying, "You can take it." I already know how it ends. He didn't, not then. But that single moment had rewritten his life. She was laughter in the quiet, warmth in the storm, and mystery wrapped in simplicity. Ayan was an engineer, logical, grounded, precise. She was an artist, chaotic, curious, and full of color. Together, they balanced like dawn and dusk. Yet fate, cruel and poetic, loved testing fragile hearts. 3 months ago, Alina had gotten a letter, a job offer in another country. "It's only for a year," she had said, her voice trembling. "I'll come back." Ayan had smiled, pretending not to be scared. "Then I'll wait at the same station where we met. Platform 7, 11:30 p.m., a year from now. No calls, no letters, no promises, just presence." She had nodded through tears. That night, she said goodbye, leaving her sketchbook behind on his desk. Inside it, on the last page, she had drawn a clock with broken hands and written, "If love is real, time won't matter." He read that line 1,000 times during the lonely months that followed. He wrote to her, but the letters came back unopened. Her number stopped working. He told himself she was busy, that love doesn't vanish, it only hides until found again. So when the day came, he returned to the station with his heart full of hope and trembling fear. Now as the train arrived, his eyes searched every window, every face. Strangers came and went, umbrellas clattering, voices echoing, but not hers. Midnight came and went. The bouquet wilted in his hand. Still, he waited. The station master approached gently, saying, "Son, the last train's gone. Go home." But Ayan couldn't move. He stood under the flickering light until dawn broke, painting the rails gold. Then from the corner of his eye, he saw something. A woman standing on the opposite platform, watching him. She looked just like Alina, only older, paler, her eyes heavy with secrets. His breath caught. "Alina?" he called. She smiled faintly and shook her head. "You shouldn't have waited," she whispered, her voice barely audible over the hum of the waking city. "You said you'd come back," he said. "I tried," she replied, tears shining like stars. But not everything ends in one lifetime. Before he could step forward, a train thundered between them. When it passed, she was gone. Heart racing, he searched every corner of the platform. Nothing. Only a damp sketchbook lying near the bench. His hands trembled as he opened it. The last page had changed. The clock now had moving hands, and below it, in her handwriting, was written, "You waited. So I'll find you next time." He sank to the ground, clutching the book as the morning crowd flowed around him. The world went on, but for Ayan, time had folded. The station became his temple. Every night he returned, watching trains come and go, hoping she'd step off one someday. People called him crazy, the man who waited for a ghost. But he knew what he'd seen. He knew what love remembered. Years later, the station changed. The old wooden benches were replaced, the walls repainted, but Platform 7 remained. One rainy evening, a young woman named Mira stopped there to take shelter from the storm. She found an old sketchbook lying by the tracks, its pages weathered but intact. Curious, she opened it and felt a strange pull. Inside were hundreds of sketches, the same two faces, drawn over decades. A man with tired eyes, a woman with lilies. At the very end, one new line shimmered faintly as if freshly inked. "Next train, 11:30 p.m., I'll be there." Mira smiled without knowing why. The announcement crackled, "Train 143 arriving Platform 7. She looked up, and across the platform, under the same flickering light, stood a man holding a bouquet of lilies. Their eyes met. Neither spoke. Time seemed to breathe. The train passed between them, and when it cleared, both were gone. The sketchbook fell to the ground, pages fluttering in the wind. Landing open on the first page, the drawing of a broken clock, finally showing the right time. And somewhere beyond time's curtain, two souls found each other again, not because fate was kind, but because love, when true, refuses to end until it's remembered by both hearts.